keep calm and study. That is my mantra, guys, and I just want to say hi to you all again because I've got something to show you today which I've never really spoken about before. I've kind of alluded to it in my organisation and study videos, but it just occurred to me that there is one thing that should be in your, stationery drawer, your bag, on your desk. It should go around with you the whole time, basically, and that is your Filofax. Now, I don't know how many of you brought up in the 90s where, as children, there was something called a fun fax. Hell yeah. And that was kind of where I first got into the sort of Filofax thing. Ever since then, I've had several Filofaxes, or Filofi maybe we can call them, and this is my old Filofax. This is my pink Finsbury, just said that, and it kind of contains like everything really that you would ever really need to know. And I've had it for about, goodness, I got it in 2008, so that's 5 years, and this thing is still going so strong. Honestly, it is the most durable and portable and kind of cuddleable thing I've ever owned, and I'm very grateful to my mum who actually bought it for me for, like, I don't know, it must have been my 20th birthday, I think, and I have loved it every single day since then. However, I've kind of become a little bit bored of pink, and I thought, you know what, I think that to, round off this year and to kind of look forward to the next one, I want a brand new Filofax. And so I went on the Filofax website and I looked through all the Filofaxes they currently sell, which is far more than I even realised, and I came across this absolute beaut, which is the Filofax A5 Calypso, which looks like this. I know I've not really taken it out of its proper packaging yet because I just don't want to dirty it or damage it. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous and I want to prize it and cherish it. So let me finally extract it from its packaging for you. It comes quite well packaged, to be quite honest. I mean, it has this protective plastic around it, which is ever so helpful. And the leather itself on this thing is so soft. I don't know if you can see how it's kind of like soft and yielding, but compared to the Finsbury, for example, the Finsbury is really hard. Like, there's not really any cuddling back given from the Finsbury, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can still love something even though it doesn't love you back. But the Calypso is very much soft and cuddly, like a teddy bear of the royal blue kind. Actually, this colour is called bright blue, which I might admit is slightly misleading because this is actually quite a sort of royal blue, and it reminds me of when I was a child. I used to do pottery class at school, and one of our glazes was royal blue, and it was my absolute favourite colour. So anything I brought home, any of the pots I made were always this colour, and I really like it actually. I think it's really grown up. I mean, I do like pink, don't get me wrong, but since I've already got a pink Filofax, I figured that I don't need 2 pink Filofaxes, so, blue is the natural conclusion to that line of reasoning. So here it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. The leather is it is just as grainy actually as the Finsbury, but the clasp is different. As you can see, it's kind of like got a croc kind of print about it, and the popper is extremely firm. So that is absolutely ideal. And to be honest, it's not quite as big as my Finsbury because this is softer. It's actually thinner as well. So when I'm going to uni and stuff, this is going to be so much more portable and so much easier to carry around with me, as opposed to this thing, which has been a bit of a labour of love to carry around with me because it is just a little too big. And although you could obviously downsize, you could go for, a personal or a compact version of this, I actually quite like A5, but I did want something a little bit skinnier, that I can take around with me without it killing my shoulder, basically. So if I've got my laptop as well, you know, things can get bloody heavy really quickly. So this is absolutely perfect for that. They also sell it in a personal or compact size, and yeah, I can imagine that that would be even better actually. But for what it's worth, you know, A5 for the win for me. So if you open it up, it's got these like protective things around it, which is good. I'm not going to complain that there's like protection around my Filofax, you know, because these things aren't really that cheap, and to be honest, you really do get what you pay for. You know, for me, Filofax has always been a synonym for quality and, you know, just endurance, and actually it's kind of like a classic British brand, which is quite nice to support. So yeah, as you can see on this part here, there is a pen holder. And at the moment, I've got my own pen in there. Obviously, Filofax didn't sell this to me. This is actually a Caran Dash ballpoint pen in fluorescent pink, which I think goes absolutely wonderfully with my blue Filofax. So that just goes in there. And if you want to pick up this pen, it's actually available in paper chase for £12, I think. So actually, it's a real steal. It looks like it would be expensive, but it's not. So this is the Filofax. These are the new colours from the Calypso range. So they're not all available actually in this size. If you want the A5, you can only get it in bright blue and pink. So still great colours, of course, but if you want to go for like teal or yellow or green or orange, then you'll be looking for the kind of smaller sizes, which is cool. And obviously with a Filofax you get the kind of staples, so you'll get a diary and you'll get like tabbed pages like this, so you get the old 1 to 6, and then you just get things like, for example, my favourite of all time, the to-do lists. So you get several sheets of to-do list. Sorry, my light is incredibly bright and I hope you can actually see this. But if you want to see some to-do lists that I filled out earlier, then we need only look at my Filofax of yesteryear. So this is a to-do list of mine from when I was on the IB. As you can see, there are quite a number of them from my life. Don't ask me why I've kept hold of them, I just have. But I find my Filofaxes have been so useful from this point of view. You know, we all kind of use them for different things. Some people use them as a kind of, I don't know, a formalised, I don't know, upper class sort of scrapbook. But for me, I like them predominantly as a way of keeping my my goals and my tasks in one place. So that is why I absolutely love these to-do list sheets. I often buy heap loads more. You can buy them in single refill packs and you'll get, I don't know how many you get in there, but it's plenty, believe me. I mean, that's been going from like 2009, all of those to-do lists. So yeah, but you get absolutely loads of it. And then you get ruled paper like this, for example, and you get several pages of that. And then you get square paper, so if you're like a math student, or I don't know why else you would need square paper, but if you fancy to change, for example, then you do have the facility of square paper, and then you've got plain paper, and this just comes as standard with Filofax. You do get all of this, and it is awesome. And then you get things like the contact sheets. To be fair, I really rarely fill those out, because apparently I don't really know anybody. I certainly don't know people's addresses. Goodness. And then you get like the coloured paper, so you get blue, and you get green, you get pink, and then we finally get onto the ruler, which is different to my old one. My old one's actually a black ruler in my Finsbury, and it pulls out, it's kind of like detachable. This is a clear one. And you get the diary of the forthcoming year, and also the diary of the present year. So I've got 2014 diary and a 2013 diary. I actually think what I'm going to do is, because obviously I'm a student and it's important that I kind of perceive my year in the kind of academic calendar, I'm going to purchase the academic diary, because they sell the sort of the September to July diary as well, which is what I'm going to do because, well, I don't know, it makes more sense for me to do that. But that is my gorgeous, lovely, absolutely stunning, love it to bits Calypso A5, and I think it's so lovely, and I think my pink pen in there is just such an intriguing accent. I think it'd actually be lost without the pink pen, to be quite honest with you, but I mean it really is just such a soft and plush and cushiony Filofax. I've never known anything like it. It's really nice, and obviously you get things like these kind of flaps in here and things where you put like cards, business cards, or whatever. I mean, any other card that you might come across in your times. And then you get this like zip pouchy bit here if you want to keep like personal information in there, which is what I kind of do. You know, the odd sort of prescription ends up in those kinds of places. And you also get this like Ziploc plastic bag, which would kind of be a good place to put like, don't know really, your bits and bobs, like anything that doesn't file away quite as easily. And actually, I have been meaning to get my hands on a hole punch that will work with A5 Filofaxes, because sometimes I find that what I want to do is that I write things down, and then I realise my hole punch won't actually be able to get my document into my Filofax. So I'm going to need to look into getting one of those, because I want everything to be in my Filofax. I want this to be my, you know, one-stop shop for all of my events, my calendar, my to-do lists, my goals. You know, it's perfectly possible, in fact, to completely personalise these tabs. So I know they say 1 to 6 at the moment, but you can, you know, obviously override them. And actually I was looking on the internet the other day, and there are tutorials that show you how to make your own divider. So I think I'm going to do that, and I might show you the results, because I'm currently working over summer, and at work we have sort of like a laminating facility, so I'm thinking hell yes to the laminator. You know, I've got my name all over that. I'm going to make some dividers, and it's going to be amazing. So that, my friends, is that. And, you know, if you've never had a Filofax before, then I can quite honestly say you have missed out. Although it's not too late, of course. But I really can recommend, you know, if you want some place to organise your life, you know, that isn't a BlackBerry or, you know, your Outlook calendar, because you know what? I miss things. I miss the real world. I miss objects, objet d'art, comme ça. You know, I don't want everything to be on my BlackBerry. I don't want everything to be on my iCal. I don't want everything to be on my work calendar, on my Outlook. You know, I want to be able to have recourse to, you know, the material world with its beautiful objects. And, you know, call me a reactionary, but I actually just, you know, want to take things back to, you know, the 90s, if you like. You know, I want to bring back, you know, the old fashion of, you know, the Filofax and the ballpoint pen, and sod new technology now. You know, I'm a student, I don't care that I'm kind of old-fashioned, but, you know, there's a certain way I like to do things, and the Filofax is just my favourite accessory in terms of keeping organised. And to be honest, it's such a gorgeous item. I mean, I have so proudly donned this over the past, I don't know, 5 years. It has literally gone everywhere with me. This Filofax has travelled, and there's really not much sign of wear. I mean, okay, the claspy bits have gone a little bit faded, but barely at all. I mean, I don't know if you can even see this, but I mean, you can't even say that's not pink anymore. They just last and last. I mean, in this one, I've got all of my, sorry, it's confusing, my mind maps from my exams. I've got, you know, entire calendars. I've got 1,000,001 to-do lists, you know, and I can kind of keep it here because it's, you know, it's not taking over the world. It's not unduly big. It's totally manageable, and to be honest, it's an absolutely gorgeous thing. So, you know, I'm happy to have it. And you also, in this one, you get 2 pen holders, which I didn't realise until today, and I thought, hey, you know what? That is for a pen, and that's for a pencil, so you learn something new every day. But, I mean, I do love my pink one still, and I don't know, I think it may have just been superseded by its younger and bluer counterpart. But, yeah, so they are Filofaxes, and they are just, honestly, have one in your life, have a look at the collection. I do understand that Filofaxes are quite expensive, and to be honest, I have relied on kind of receiving them as gifts so far, because, you know, they are not cheap. But actually, you'll find that there are some really affordable Filofaxes nowadays. You don't obviously have to go for something huge like that. I mean, that's not the biggest, you'd be surprised. They do A4 as well, but, I mean, goodness, A4 is quite large, isn't it? But, yeah, I mean, something like this, it's kind of, it's pretty sleek, to be honest, and the new bag I'm getting for uni, I mean, that'll slot perfectly inside it, and I'll be able to have my laptop, and it won't give me, like, shoulder pains, because it's just, you know, it's comfortable. So, that is that, guys. If you've got any questions about Filofax in general, then let me know. Obviously, you can buy all kinds of refills, and they don't actually have to be from Filofax themselves. There are different brands that are now selling Filofax compatible inserts and refills and stuff like that. But in terms of being organised and being organised stylishly, I don't think you can do better than the Filofax, really. I think Filofax is kind of like the BlackBerry of old-fashioned stationery. You really just, you won't need much more than this. Okay, you might still need your BlackBerry, to be fair. But, you know, I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous, and I think, you know, it's so personalisable, and, you know, even down to, like, what pen you put in it. And obviously there are loads of styles as well, but this is the Calypso, and I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. I think the colour is beautiful, and I think everybody should have one, really, because I think every A-star student needs top-notch organiser. So that is my review of that, and I wish you all well. Oh, and I have a parting motto to impart. Keep calm and study, guys. That'll be all.